Here's a look at today's headlines across Houston. Hello, I'm Len Cannon. We're getting new reaction from people on board a Delta flight forced to return to Hobby Airport Wednesday morning. That's after a passenger became unruly. Authorities say it took 10 fellow passengers to stop what they describe as a violent rant. Jason Miles with the story.
We were the only news crew here at Hobby when the unruly passenger was taken into custody by HPD. Meantime, a fellow passenger told our sister station in Atlanta that he plans to press charges. A routine flight from Hobby to Atlanta on board this Delta jet hit turbulence shortly after takeoff this morning. When this passenger started yelling at the flight crew and fellow passengers before allegedly attacking some of them.
And then he stumbled and fell in my seat next to me, and I was so scared, so I just put my feet up and my hands up because I was getting ready to kick for my dear life.
A woman traveling with her pet dog says the unruly passenger apologized to her before punching other people, adding he was heading for the cockpit, stating he wanted to speak to the pilot.
This is crazy.
But despite initial information, Delta says the man seen here after being wrangled did not attempt to access the flight deck or any other airplane door.
He started snatching up this one guy in the window seat. He was yanking him by his shirt, his hair, and it took like 8 guys on the plane to get him off of that guy. And they had to sit on him, and we had to turn the plane around and go back to Houston.
We were outside the terminal as Houston police escorted the man to a patrol unit. HPD telling me this afternoon that he was taken for a mental health evaluation. We're blurring his face pending possible criminal charges. Meanwhile, the flight to Atlanta was back in the air about 90 minutes behind schedule with one fewer passenger. In a statement, Delta Airlines said the safety of crew and passengers is of the utmost importance and that unruly behavior will not be tolerated. It also apologized for any inconvenience. Reporting from Hobby Airport, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.
A mother pleading for help after her teenage daughter was shot and killed at a party on Valentine's Day. And sadly, we have learned this is one of several shootings involving teens in Houston just this month. The latest shooting happening at a party near the South Beltway in Brookside Village. Hours later, friends rushed the girl to an urgent care way off of FM 1960. Annalie Ruiz with the story.
Well, the mother said she was supposed to be planning her daughter's graduation. Instead, she's planning her funeral. We've pulled numbers, and since February 1st, 8 teens have been shot in the Houston area, and 4 of them have died.
She would have been alive.
Tonight, Yadi Alatorre is still in shock, struggling to understand how her 17-year-old daughter, Mariah, was killed over the weekend.
Disturbing, something that I never thought I would go through or see.
She said Mariah had gone to a party with friends, but something was off.
When I kept texting and calling her, she wouldn't answer me.
She said it wasn't like Mariah, so she reached out to one of her friends that was also at the party.
And she answered, and she texted me. And then I was like, okay, everything's good, but it just something didn't seem right.
Mom said she checked the location through her phone, and at one point, both girls were at the urgent care off of FM 1960, and she called again.
Why? What happened? And she said, Mariah's been shot.
Mariah was later transferred to HCA Houston Northwest, where she died. According to the Houston Police Department, officers responded to a disturbance on Drag Road in Brookside Village. Police say there were roughly 300 people at the party. Officers heard gunshots and partygoers began running from the home. Investigators say Mariah was driven from the scene in a private vehicle to the hospital, where she later died. Her mother is left wondering what happened in those missing hours.
I found out she was in the urgent care. It was already 3-something. So what happened between those hours, I don't know. Right now I feel like we have more questions than answers.
If you look at this map, Mariah was allegedly shot here, but was taken to the hospital nearly 40 miles away.
Nothing makes sense.
Her daughter's dreams were just beginning. Mariah wanted to become a nail technician and study sonography. Her family hopes she's remembered for the joy she brought others.
She's a fun person to be around, She's really sweet. She was loving. She was genuine.
Now, if you have any information on this case, you're told to contact Crime Stoppers or the Houston Police Department. Annalie Ruiz, KHOU 11 News.
An investigation is underway after a massive fire tore through a recycling plant in Liberty County Tuesday night. The The flames lighting up the sky near Dayton, forcing a shelter-in-place order for nearby residents. That order was lifted Wednesday morning, and the fire is nearly contained. Devon Robin was on the scene with more.
While the shelter-in-place order was lifted well before the sun came up this morning, but the Liberty County Fire Marshal says what you see here to my right isn't necessarily smoke coming off of the debris pile, as it's more so steam coming off of the pile here as firefighters continue to put water on the remaining hot spots. The fire broke out Tuesday night at around 7 o'clock here at the Omni Recycling Facility near Grand Parkway and US 90, and at one point, at least 14 different fire departments were on scene battling the blaze. Fire officials say there's no impact to schools in the area or any of the nearby neighborhoods, but water had to be shuttled in with little water coming from the fire hydrants. It was later discovered a water line valve was closed, possibly due to new construction in the area, and once that was reopened, firefighters had a surplus of water to work with.
The lights you see over here are the tanker trucks that are full of water. They brought in a private contractor to help take over some of the operations in the water supply. These tankers are volunteer firefighters that will empty their trucks into the two 20,000-gallon frac tanks that have been set up in series, and they will be flowing water out of that.
We're told household appliances like washers, dryers, and refrigerators were burning in the debris pile as crews worked to keep the fire from reaching an area where cars and other materials were piled up. Now, a cause to this fire is still under investigation, but leaders with Liberty County say that they expect this fire to be completely out by end of business today. In Dayton, Devon Rahming, KHOU 11 News.
Houston rapper and community activist Bun B sharing an emotional and personal moment on social media this week. Truly a special moment. That is his wife, Queenie, ringing the bell at Houston Methodist in Sugar Land on Tuesday as she celebrates being cancer-free. According to Bun B's post, Queenie was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer last year, went through 5 months of chemo before having surgery last month. He thanked all his wife's doctors and highlighted the importance of annual health checkups. What a great moment for that family. That's a wrap of your Houston headlines. I'm Len Cannon.